Hey everyone, Jarek and Komodo here, and I'm going to be bringing back a old series I used to do. I did this a lot for Halo 4, I uploaded some of the Reach Forge maps, but I mainly started this with Halo 4. And this is the top 10 Halo 5 Forge maps. Now I know the playlist says top 5, and I'm going to change it to top 5 because this video is a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. As in like 20 minutes long or so. It really did, because each track is only like a minute 30 long, but there's a few that are longer, so it does end up being longer than I anticipated. So I will change this to top 5. And the layout I'm doing with this top whatever video is that 4 of them will basically be racetracks, and I will have 1 remake map. So here's the first one, GELID World. This one is surprisingly long. It looks a lot longer than... It feels longer than it actually is, that's what she said. I was just waiting for you to say it. I had to say it before you did, just in case. Because this is probably the smoothest map in this entire video. There's no bumps in the road, it just feels rather smooth. You can probably run warthogs on this as well, and I have a feeling this would work pretty well for just a race course for you and your friends, just goofing around and whatnot. It looks pretty to look at. It's got this, like, water park color vibe to it.
What was with the ATST?
Oh yeah, and then there's that random... I have a feeling that this was supposed to be a, like... Originally was supposed to be a throwback to a Star Wars map, and then he, like, gave up after he made after he made that and just kind of did a regular race course.
Okay.
But I mean, there's nothing special that really stands out. It's just a smooth, well-made race course that I wanted to point out. And while we're watching this, because this course is somewhat long, I want to talk about how amazingly unintuitive it is to download maps in the Forge system right now. Because it's really confusing. Halo 5 Forge system is amazing as far as Forge goes. It's the best Forge we've had. Which is great, because Halo 4's Forge kind of was a little lacking, to be honest, at first.
It had Forge? That's a legitimate question. I didn't play it long enough.
You did videos with me of like the best Forge maps in Halo 4. Yeah, how do you forget that? So yeah, it's legitimately a great Forge system, but the way you have to download maps in it, there's no file browser, which is completely asinine. I don't know why you would get rid of that. You have to find the person that made the map, add them. It doesn't have to be a mutual add. You just need to add them so they're in your roster. Go to your roster in Halo 5, find their name, go to their files, and then bookmark it. This is so stupid, and it makes making these videos a complete pain. Also, yes, floating mongoose.
I was going to ask about that.
There's a lot of stuff you can do in Forge, like I said. Forge is legitimately cool, but the no file browser thing is obnoxious. So, if you want these maps, they are bookmarked in my gamertag. So if you want to find me and download them that way, you can find them that way. That's the reason I don't have like the author that made them, because it's a pain. It is such a pain to download these, because I was finding these by the Forge Hub website. I would go there, I would find cool tracks because they have pictures and you can see what it is before you download it. But then you have to download it that way, and the person's name on Forge Hub may not actually be their gamertag. So actually finding that map is a pain. So that's why I don't have the author here, because a lot of times I don't even know who actually made the damn map. So if you do want to download these, just look for my gamertag. I will just say it's Jarek Blood Dragon, but that doesn't really help because it's misspelled and only one thing is capitalized. So if you want it, look at my Halo 5 maps, you can see it in the scoreboard. I probably won't accept your friend invite because a lot of people trying to add me that I don't know, no offense to anyone, and trying to keep that the friends only that I actually play with, and I don't want to get spammed. So I won't accept it, but you can still see it. Alright, so here's the next one, Temple of Vulcan. Again, don't know who made it, but this map is actually really cool. It's nice to look at, it plays well. It's, for the most part smooth, but it does have... Yeah, and they got, like, grunts in there. It's just a nice looking map. It's mostly smooth, but it does have some tricky jumps in it. I feel like this is, like, the perfect race map where it's not too complicated, but it does have places where you can mess up, so if that person messes up that's in front of you, you can pass them and, you know, win. It's got all this lava everywhere. I mean, it's a good looking map. That's pretty much the entire gimmick of this one, is it's a volcano. These jumps here are trickier than they look. I would like to point out that the... I don't know why I didn't mention this before. What happened to the mongoose?
Yeah, I remember you were recording the other day, and I didn't think about it. It's big enough to seat 2 people comfortably now.
Yeah, like, it's way bigger now. Like, this is not an ATV. This is like a wannabe car. This is like those things you see in India. The 3-wheeled things.
Tuk-tuk!
Yeah, those things. Except for off-road. Off-road tuk-tuk. Didn't someone make like a jet-powered tuk-tuk? I'm pretty sure someone did that.
If they did, I know nothing about it.
I would say I'd applaud them, but I'd also want to punch them for being so stupid. But yeah, I don't know why they changed it. They handle way differently now, I'm just assuming because they're bigger. And, like, reach and whatnot, it was so easy to flip those mongoose. Like, mongooses. You'd land and they would rebound because the suspension is real soft, and they were small, and then you'd just do a bunch of loops. And, Alright, this one is super cool. We've actually seen this before. I saw a video of this. And when I found it on Forge Mode, I'm like, I gotta download this and I gotta show it. Very short course, but it's a themed course. And the reason it's short is because when it comes to these themed courses, you run out of resources real quick. Because you have to use so much to actually make it look like what you're trying to make it look like. So yeah, it's a Hot Wheels course. If you didn't know what it's supposed to be, it's pretty obvious what it's supposed to be. It just looks good. It's not... The layout isn't particularly interesting, but it's fucking cool.
It is.
Like... I played those Hot Wheels games so much back in the day. I don't know if you ever played them, like the Stunt Driver games, I think it was called.
I played with actual Hot Wheels.
Well, I mean, I did that too, but like, the games are super cool because the first one was like based on all indoor stuff around the house, and the second one was like outside. I think it was like Hot Wheels Stunt Truck Driver 1 and 2.
I know nothing about them.
So many people played those back in the day. I guarantee you a lot of people in the comments were like, dude, I remember those games, and just suddenly have a nostalgia trip and have a heart attack.
And before no one remembers.
Dude, everyone I talk to knows about those games. Like, those were one of the games that everyone played in the 90s. And funny story about those is that back then, like, I didn't have the world's best computer. It wasn't awful, it wasn't really great, but, like, that game was odd. And if you couldn't run the game well, like, the speed of the game changed. So, like, I'd be playing it at my place, because everything was tied to the frame rate, and it would be running smoothly. Then I would go to my friend's house who had a better computer, and everything would be like, fast forward. And I'm like, I can't do this. And even that's just really cool, the small detail of like the spinny
launcher thing.
Yeah. I don't even know what they call it. I didn't call him a booster, but that works. This is a very good looking map. It does have some odd things going on with anti-aliasing and consoles, only so much you can do. Really good looking map. It could be a little bit smoother, in my opinion. A lot of the sections is like 2 drops that are almost straight down. I think they're trying to replicate more or less a roller coaster at that point. Not smooth at all on those drops. The rest of the course is super cool. But like what you'll see here, I make this look a lot smoother than it actually is. But there are 2 almost straight drops where it's just very easy to flip and end up getting off the course. There are ways to make it play smoother than that. There are ways to make it so that there's like an invisible barrier above you, so you stay actually attached to the course instead of just going into a free fall and then tumbling. But other than that, you know, I mainly showed this one just because it's colorful. It looks cool. It looks like a 5th grader made a montage video. No, it really does. It does look cool. And I believe this is a good example of what I'm referring to. I hit something. I'm pretty sure he's trying to smooth it out, but it just didn't really work very well. So yeah, it could do a little bit more testing. Other than that, it's, you know, like I said, a colorful, good-looking map that I was okay with, so I decided to throw it in here. I did play other maps, but I only kept 10 in my bookmarks, and they're only these. For now. Obviously, that will change when I make future videos. I don't know how many of these I'll make. A lot of that entirely depends on how many views this gets and if you guys want to see more. So if you do want to see more of these, views is what speaks to me. If I get a lot of views on these, then I'll make more of them more frequently. I contemplated making one of these weekly, but I don't want to commit to something that I may not do weekly and leave people wondering, where the hell is it this week? Why aren't you making the content you promised us to make? I'm unsubscribing, and, you know, angry YouTubers. Alright, this one, Mongoose Mania. This one is more of an obstacle course, more than a racetrack. It's kind of a combination of both. And I think this is one of the earlier ones that was made, because it's a little bit rough around the edges. But yeah, it has some potential in it, like right at the very beginning of the course here. You get caught with multiple people with Mongoose here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Does that blow you up?
Yep, it'll crush you.
Nice.
And I imagine like 4 people trying to get through there at once. Someone's gonna die. Like, it's gonna happen.
That honestly just makes me think of like Super Mario on the Wii with 4 people. It's just chaos.
I do not have any experience with this.
You should be happy.
I was never really into Mario. I was always one of those people that was more into Sonic, and then Sonic happened to Sonic, and then I was not into Sonic anymore. It's sad how many Sonic games there are, and only like 3 are good. Well, I take that back. A lot of the Game Gear ones are good. But those were like... I don't know how to classify those, because they're not like spin-offs, but they're spin-offs. Like, really, I don't know what to say there. They were made by Sonic Team, but, you know. Also, yeah, this person really needs to get the teleports right.
That tree moved.
Yeah, you can, like, push it around.
That's weird.
But his teleports, this person likes to make the teleports, when you go through them, you're looking the wrong way, and you can change that. So, like I said, this map can be a little rough around the edges, but, like, right here, it's supposed to be rough around the edges. Like, it's supposed to, like I said, more or less an obstacle course and a racetrack in one. Like, you can imagine someone finding the best route through here and making it through before anyone else does, and being way ahead and stuff like that. Fairly long course. So, you know, I decided to add it in because this is the only obstacle course like one, and I remember them being very common in, like, Reach. Like, I'm sure you remember all the crazy obstacle courses people made in that game.
Yes.
What I'm more amazed about is that I'm not really seeing... You know, with all the, like, Halo 5 new abilities, with boosting and ground pounding, all that stuff, you figured there would be a lot more, like, obstacle courses not on vehicles. Like, use your abilities to reach from this point to this point without falling into a pit or something like that. But I haven't seen any of those. And you would assume that you would, but I just haven't. Soccer balls. Yeah, I don't know why those are there. I'm pretty sure you can fall off of those, the blue... I don't know what they call those blue, like, bounce pads? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Nope. I was actually thinking about it. I can't figure it out.
Yeah, there's like these things. On one side, it's blue, and you'll bounce off those. The other side, it's like orangish, and you'll get repelled off, like pulled into it. And that's been there since Reach. I don't know what to call them, but I'm pretty sure they're earlier in the map. You can see that, and you can bounce off those if you nail the jump right, which I didn't. But whatever. I still went through the course, so it's fine. This was like I said, a pretty long course that had some interesting detail. I didn't show it off in this video, but there's one of those parked cars just moving on the bottom platform. And I'm pretty sure if you're caught off guard and not aware, it'll like crush you, kill you, make you blow up.
Fun.
Yeah, there's killer cars. So, is there a where cause? Where cars?
Bender?
Hey, you got that reference.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Okay, I was gonna say, I don't know how many Futurama episodes you've seen.
But yeah, honestly, Killer Cars just instantly makes me think of Quantum Break.
Where?
Cars have killed me the most in that game, remember?
I don't. Okay. Yeah, so, apparently explosions, cars blowing up and being on fire is really easy to not notice. But on top of that, even if the explosion doesn't kill you, maybe the hood will fly off and hit you and kill you.
In the face.
Yeah. Because there's actual physics in that game, and it will kill you if that happens. It reminds me of Battlefield, where it's like jank, where it like doesn't really hit you, it like flies through the camera, and then you just die. Like, I've had things happen in Battlefield 3. Oh, and right at the end here is, I think they're called Phantoms?
Phaeton.
Phaeton. Oh, there you go. One of these at the end, I assume just so you can fuck with the other people that are driving through. I don't know. It gives you a better angle of the map, at least you can see all the detail they put into it. What were we talking about? Battlefield, yes. I've had situations happen in Battlefield 3 where a grenade blew up and a wheelbarrow flew at me and killed me. And it's like, there's no impact, you just die. It's like, oh, it's so cheesy.
No,
hey, Rainbow Road.
No.
So I don't know if this is actually based off of a specific Rainbow Road.
The fact is, there are no edges, which means you can fall off. Whoever made this, you are doing the work of Satan.
It wouldn't be fun if you can't fall off. It looks good, though. I like how they have a Forge map that has Halo all around it.
That's kind of cool, I admit.
There's a lot of detail that went into Halo 5, and it's strange because, like, a lot of it feels rushed, and then a lot of it feels super polished. And it's like, make up your mind. But yeah. Hey, Rainbow Road. I don't know if this layout is supposed to be a specific Rainbow Road. I've never been into Mario Kart. I know it's sacrilegious, but it's never really been my thing. So yeah, I don't know if this is a specific layout from a specific Mario Kart game, but it's Rainbow Road, and I know a lot of people immediately, like, this is recognizable, at least. Like, you will know what it is. Also, there is a Halo 2 battle rifle and a Halo 1 pistol there. Not sure why. You can pick it up, I guess, just to mess with people. It's there. Maybe there's a specific game mode that he made for this, because you can make your own game modes and whatnot, which is pretty cool. So that might be what it is. I don't know. But it's there. See, I don't think this is a specific layout of any one. Nothing. You don't seem to be knowing if this is a reference to anything. I think it's just like, look, we made a road that's rainbow-like.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything, honestly. But yeah, back to Quantum Break for just a moment. I have literally been killed by cars more than I've been killed by enemies in that game.
Which will probably change the later you get on the game. The game, I don't want to say it gets difficult, but they do throw a lot of enemies at you at times.
They throw a lot of enemies who are super bullet sponges, too. Yeah, I ran into those guys with the grenade launcher things.
Oh, yeah, you don't see it. Well, you gotta shoot them in the back if you didn't know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that.
okay.
I'm not dumb.
They're not too difficult to get rid of. I just boosted behind them a bunch. Wait till you have multiple thrown at you.
I have.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't find them to be too difficult to deal with.
With the Chronon disruptors.
Yeah.
I hate those guys.
And that's, the course just resets there and goes back. So, next one. This one I think was actually called Sky City. I don't know why it says Destruction here. This was a cool track in multiple ways. They used the... I don't know why there's a mongoose. Hot mongoose on mongoose action going on there.
Yeah.
They used the city forger. I don't know if this is supposed to be Eden. It might be just outside of Eden. I'm pretty sure that's where it is. But yeah, there's a lot of details.
That track color is super sexy.
The red.
Yes.
Yeah, I do like that color. And they have like the blue lines on the outside. It looks good. I like the layout. The layout is mainly why I chose this one. It's not particularly difficult, but if you fuck up, you're dead. Like, one mistake and you're gonna go off the edge. And imagine this with like 8 people, all on mongoose. On a singular mongoose. I just imagine like Spartans doing like trapeze act, doing the like diamond on top of each other on one mongoose.
No. That'd be pretty cool to see, but no.
I don't know if we have the same definition of cool. That would probably break the mongoose. Spartans are fat. It's not the armor, it's actually them. They're containing like this huge amount of fat in that armor. It's just compressed. I'm thinking of Invader Zim now.
Gross.
But yeah, no, this is I did like where they actually had this set, and I did like the track layout. This might actually be my favorite layout of this one or another one that's coming up that I haven't shown. But
oh, that shadow. Freaked out for a second there.
What is it's an eclipse?
That's not what I meant.
We're supposed to have an eclipse on August 17th, 2017. Weird.
17th?
Yes, 17th. 17 teeth. That's actually what's eclipsing. Okay, this one, Caved In. This was made by... I had a few that were actually made by the same person. At least I'm pretty sure. This one is another pretty good snowy map. You know, despite all of the Xbox One's limitations, Halo 5 can be a pretty game. Like, it looks good, and then you look closer and you notice, like, all the jaggies, there's no anti-aliasing, and the fact that it scales with the resolution, but, like, gosh, man, that's what kills me about not having it on a PC. None of that would matter, and it would be a legitimately very good-looking game. It runs smooth, though, so, I mean, I do have to give them some credit. It always runs at 60 FPS, and I never feel it lagging, so that's nice, at least. Unless you're talking about lag in the network sense, where you lag out of games, that happens. That's not nice.
Gee, you think?
What was I talking about before we got to this map?
I don't remember, honestly. The last thing I remember was Quantum Break.
I've forgotten. Whatever, we move on. This is kind of like the first map where it's, for the most part, pretty smooth. That jump kind of tripped me up a little bit when I played through this. I'm not sure why he chose the purple on white snow, but, you know, I can't say it looks bad.
I was gonna say something about it. It doesn't mesh well. I think like probably a blue would have done better there. What are you doing?
That's the end of the course.
Oh wow, that was short.
Yeah, some of these are a lot shorter than the other ones. This one was real cool. So I'll let you try to figure out where this actually is in the game.
Is it outside that one map that's underwater?
Yes, Fathom.
You're underwater.
Yep. Underwater and Spartan's alive. It's a miracle.
And driving.
Yeah, we'll ignore that. It's pretty, though.
It is.
This was really cool. When I saw this, this was one of the ones I saw a screenshot from above, and I was like, alright, I'm gonna find it, I'm gonna download it. I don't even care.
The effect of the water through the light on the track is actually really nice.
Yeah, and there's a lot of details on the track itself too, like having random streetlights all along the course. Kind of adds a touch to the dark sections of the map. It's cool, and you got these giant-ass fish all around you. I should have gone into Forge mode and see if I could, like, fuck with them. I have a feeling they're out of the map. So, I'm not sure. That jump is a little tricky. Since it's angled, it likes to send your mongoose sideways. I played this before and hit it and, like, landed one wheel on the track and got, like, stuck upside down underneath it. I'm like, oh, fuck. What do I do now? I haven't downloaded there's apparently a custom-made race game type, because there's no race game type in the game yet.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't know how that's a thing.
Mad.
Also, look at them fish. There's a weird-ass shaped fish. It reminds me of an unknown. And there's all these noises, too. We can't hear it because the sound's turned off or it would make echo, but all these, like, whale noises going around you as you're driving around. And this one, alright, so this is the last one. This is the remake map. Ziba Tower. This probably won't mean anything to you because you didn't really play Battlefield that much, but I loved this map. And this is a fairly faithful recreation of the Battlefield 3 map, Ziba Tower, which came in the CQB expansion. I loved this thing because if you know me, you know I like more up-close infantry type stuff. I don't really like vehicles being all over the place. I don't like snipers being assholes off in the distance. Like, I like being up close. I like being able to flank you. That's my playstyle. That's what I do. And the CQB expansion was exactly what I wanted. Obviously, I'm not going to complain if I don't have that in a Battlefield game, because that's always been like a mix between like large-scale combat with vehicles and whatnot. But it always annoyed me. It was never really my thing. So I usually ended up, you know, playing stuff like, oh, and this is also, the CQB expansion was also when they added gun game. Which, if you know me, again, you know I love gun game. Like, that is my thing. That is my favorite game mode. I really wish it was mandatory of every shooter to have it. Because it doesn't seem like it would be too difficult to implement. You know, it's a game mode that people generally like, too.
See, I can't help but see this map, and the first thing that pops into my mind is, it looks like Mirror's Edge. But that's less the person who made the map's fault and more the fact that seemingly any surface in Halo 5 doesn't have much of a texture to it.
Yeah. It's, not exactly a 100% colorful map, and the few colors in it kind of pop out. But I mean, they were trying to recreate the original Ziba Tower was like in a high-rise, like a fancy high-rise building. So they were trying to recreate that sort of look. And this person added a lot of detail. He said they added in specific weapons for the different classes, like the rocket launcher was added in for the engineer, the sniper was added in for the recon, you know, stuff like that. Which is a pretty cool touch. There's weapons all throughout. I don't know if there was a Halo 1... Yeah, there was a Halo 1 pistol on this. By the way, if you put a Halo 1 pistol in your map, I immediately love you, and you're one of the best map creators. In fact, you could just make a blank map with that pistol, and I love it. I miss that thing so much. Like, I loved the higher damage models of Halo 1. Like, it just sort of clicks with me. And while we're on that topic, I want to mention, for some reason, a lot of people get mad at 343 saying, oh, they added bullet magnetism, oh, the game is for noobs now, and stuff like that. And, like, first off, they lowered aim assist in Halo 5 compared to the previous games. It is way harder to aim now than previous games. And it doesn't help that their acceleration is messed up, but there's way more than that. There is less aim assist. There is slightly more bullet magnetism? That's the word I'm looking for. There's slightly more magnetism, but... it's like people think that it didn't exist before Halo 4 and 5 or something. Magnetism has been in Halo since Halo 2. And I want you to look up a video called Halo 2 is Noobified. Now, I don't agree with the premise of the video saying that Halo 2 is essentially made for noobs and is easier. I don't agree with that. But it does show that in comparison to Halo 1, which didn't have headshot prioritization, didn't have bullet magnetism, didn't have this stuff, it was all added in Halo 2 by Bungie. So, again... there's a lot of like random hate for 343. I think they've made a fantastic multiplayer game. Unfortunately, I think that's the extent of the fantastic part of Halo 5.
Agreed.
But you know, they know what they're doing now at this point. They've admitted their faults, and that's what they're doing. So yeah, again, magnetism been in Halo ever since Halo 2. It's not a new thing, not something to hate 3434. And it's harder to aim in Halo 5 than previous games. Okay, so what I'm showing off here is that, you know, in Halo 5 you have abilities and movement, whatnot. You can get part of the map that you shouldn't be. There is walls that like stopping me from walking over there. I tried to get on the ceiling on that side by crouch jumping off of this. You can't. So there is walls to stop you, but you can climb in areas that you obviously originally weren't supposed to be able to climb into when you played Battlefield 3. So do keep that in mind. It does change the game. Obviously the game is very, very different, so it does change it. But hey, that's been the last map. This is a really faithful, really cool remake of Ziba Tower. I just wanted to add it in. And this has been my top 10. Next time will be a top 5, so I don't have to make a 25-minute long video, do a lot of editing and whatnot. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and again, this might become weekly, it might not, depends on how many views it gets. If you like it, share it around, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time.